I'm sure we're going to read some terrifying stuff today, but I'm sure it's going to be fun at the same time. The first one that we're going to read is called Am I the A-hole for telling my wife that the house we're going to build won't have 5 extra rooms for her mum and her 3 brothers and her cousin? I've been looking at house plans to submit to the town hall for approval for an acre that we own out in Minnesota. 4 bedroom, 1 for wife and me and 1 for each of our 2 kids, and then an extra room as a playroom or a game room. Where's my family staying? She already promised them that they can move in with us. What? And she's now furious that you only care about yourself. What about me? I told her that I didn't agree to that from the start. Now she's looking to sell the land from under me to prove a point, I guess. Info: the land is owned jointly by me and my wife. It was purchased using the life insurance payout that we got for the death of our 1-year-old girl in 2021. Oh, I'm so sorry, OP. Between then and now, I got a manufacturing job with the federal government contractor. Her family has no stake or rights to our land. I got a call from the town's registrar about the ownership change inquiries for the land. We actually own 2 parcels, and I offered her to sell 1 parcel to a sibling for market value, but she declined. The house will be paid by me. I told her if her family wants, I can do an ADU, but they will pay market value for their rent per room, so about $900 each, and she declined. My current course of action is to transfer my ownership of the land into a trust with my kids as primary owners, with express instructions that direct descendants of me may build and live on the property. Yeah, like this comment says, I feel like there's a great deal of detail missing from this story. And the comment below that, yeah, the trying to sell it out from under me speaks volumes. Yeah, like, is that the worry here? What do you mean your wife is trying to sell the land from under you to prove a point? This comment says not the a-hole, but you probably are getting a divorce. This comment says info: who actually owns the land? And OP said the land is owned jointly by me and my wife. Is it you or a joint marital asset? So it is a joint marital asset. If it's yours, then she doesn't get to tell you what to do with it. If it's hers, then she can sell it if she wants to. If it's a joint asset, neither of you can sell it without the other person. My solution is that if it is hers, she can sell it and then divorce her. Don't waste your time building a life to get stuck taking care of her family. And yeah, the comment below that well said. OP has bigger issues than house plans. Post number 2 says, am I the a-hole for telling my cheating wife a day before our daughter's graduation that I'd be divorcing her? My wife and I have been married for 20 years and we have a daughter who's 18. She graduated high school a few months ago. Around 6 years ago, I found out that my wife was cheating on me and having an affair which lasted for a couple of months. I really wanted to divorce, but my wife was really remorseful. She quit her job, she started going to therapy, she promised all reconciliation steps that I asked for. Ultimately, I did decide to stay with my wife for her sake and for our family's sake too. For around 5 years, everything was actually going pretty great, and we had date nights and romantic vacations, and we really loved each other. However, on year 6, the whole thing resurfaced back on my mind, and I just couldn't get my mind off it. I finally made a choice after a particular line from my sister struck a chord with me. She said, would you really want to use the gift of life and spend it with somebody who betrayed you so bad? She told me this a couple of days before my daughter's graduation, and that's when I finally decided that I couldn't do it anymore. A day before my daughter's graduation, I informed my wife of my decision, and I told her that I would be filing for divorce soon. My wife was shocked and she cried a lot and told me that she would do anything, but I told her that my decision was final. My daughter's graduation in itself was great, and I was really proud of my daughter, and my wife did seem happy too, but my daughter could sense that something was wrong and asked me why her mum seemed so down and trying to fake a smile. I told her not to worry about it and to just enjoy the day. The next day, however, I told my daughter I'd be filing for divorce, and my daughter seemed shocked. She said, how could I do this to her mum before graduation? And that's why her mum couldn't enjoy the graduation? I told her it's none of her business, but we'll both always love her regardless, and my wife and I are now going through divorce proceedings. Am I the a-hole? You waited 6 years staying with a cheater to decide that you don't want to be with them. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Right, there you go. Most of the comments are you the a-hole. That's actually kind of refreshing, isn't it? We haven't had a you the a-hole in ages. This comment says you're absolutely within your right to end your relationship for whatever reason you've got. That doesn't make you an a-hole. What does make you an a-hole is how you chose to do it. Your complete lack of empathy and thought about timing your announcement, even if it was just for the sake of your daughter. Your wife ruined your relationship 6 years ago. You ruined your daughter's high school graduation day. She's not ever going to graduate from high school again, so you forever tainted this moment for her. Like others have said, you waited 6 years already. What would another few days have been? That was completely selfish, no consideration for anybody else. Yeah, mainly the daughter. And also, I didn't like the bit where OP said it's none of your business to the daughter. Like, oh, okay, thank you. So by the sounds of it, there was no like huge catastrophe or anything at the daughter's graduation, but it said there, my wife seemed happy, but my daughter could sense something was wrong and asked me why her mum seemed down and trying to fake a smile. So yeah, like that comment said, you've definitely tainted the graduation with this. And yeah, you waited 6 years. years. Wait an extra 4 days or something. Like, the timing of it was atrocious. Like, your wife cheated on you, OP. That's awful. You should have gotten rid of her 6 years ago, but now 6 years after you've realized that you can't stay with her, that's completely fine. But yeah, the timing of this was terrible. You should have definitely thought more about your daughter here. And also, what did it say that the sister said? Something about how you can't stay with somebody who betrayed you. It took 6 years for you to realize that, and that just happened to be right before your daughter's graduation. That's so wild. This comment says, so you waited 6 years already, but you had to tell her on that day. You the a-hole for that. It's totally reasonable to want to divorce your wife for being unfaithful, but you picked the worst possible day to do it. Do you hate your daughter or something? Yeah, divorcing your cheating wife, good. Announcing it at the exact same time as your daughter's graduation and making everything sad, not so good. Okay, the next one is an update post. Update, am I the a-hole for telling my boyfriend that I won't be following his family's traditions? This was the one where every first male born in the family had the same name. And of course, OP did not want to be forced to name their child something that they didn't like. So we talked and I pulled him aside after he finished work and we sat down and had a long conversation. I told him that I felt hurt that he doesn't seem to be caring about my feelings, and I never intended for a joke about TikTok names to turn into all of this. I took your guys' advice and I was really honest with him, telling him how I was really sad by the fact that I'd lose my last name when we did eventually get married. At first he seemed confused and said if it really mattered to me that much, I could just keep my last name and our kids could have his. I told him it seemed counterproductive to keep my last name because one day I'd still die, and so would the name. He asked me what I wanted to do about it, and we ended up compromising that our first son would have a shortened version of the traditional name, not a nickname, would just shorten the name, and that it would be his. And along with that too, when we eventually do get married, we'll hyphenate our last names. Well, like, that's a good outcome at least. I will admit Reddit got me a little bit in my head and had me thinking that we were going to break up over this, so I was pretty emotional during the conversation. I know this isn't the super exciting update you guys wanted. I also showed him the post and he read some of the comments. This is a direct quote from him, something he wanted me to tell you guys. Thank you for helping OP while I was being a ding dong. Oh, that's actually good. I'm so happy about that, OP. I don't really think he was being a ding dong now that I've seen his side, but he's also worried he has people after him now, lol. He really is a sweet guy, and this wasn't anything to break up over. When we did talk, he expressed that he was hurt because as much as the tradition did seem silly, it was something that he had always been looking forward to doing. We're not engaged yet, but I have a feeling something might happen this Christmas. We'll see. But yeah, I can't believe how much that post blew up, and you guys really did help me and Alex out. Thank you for the support. Yeah, like this comment says, if he was uncompromising, I think it would totally be breakup worthy. Fortunately, it ended up being completely different, and that's awesome. You both listened to each other and came up with a plan. As long as he doesn't call you an a-hole and a whiner moving forward, this is solid. Yeah, definitely, because the original post, it didn't really seem like it was looking that good. And yeah, called OP an a-hole and a whiner, but this is such a good outcome. Yeah, like this comment says, so you're telling me that you two sat down, had a mature conversation, and worked out your differences? Well, damn. Yeah, we don't see that very often. Oh my god, amazing. Communication, how beautiful. I love seeing a Reddit story update that is actually good and positive and yeah, mature. Hell yeah. The next one that we're gonna read is called Am I the a-hole for kicking up my dad's girlfriend after she made a comment about me being racist because I wear a bonnet when I sleep? Yeah, this is as dumb as the title sounds. For some context, I'm white and I've got super thin curly hair, and every time I go to sleep, I wake up with the worst bed hair. I mean, like giant knots in my hair sticking up in all different directions, and it's super frizzy. My best friend is black and she thinks it's hilarious how crazy it looks sometimes. I told her over the summer that I was really tired of how unmanageable my bed hair is, and for my birthday recently, she got me a bonnet. She wears one to bed every night, so she thought that would help my bed hair, and oh boy does it. I don't know how exactly it does, but it's wildly improved since I started wearing my bonnet. Way less frizzy, and I rarely get knots anymore. Now to the problem. My dad and his girlfriend came to visit me recently, and his girlfriend, who's also white, saw me wearing my bonnet. I just want to say, I literally just met this lady. My dad has a new girlfriend every time I see him, so this woman is nearly a complete stranger. When she saw me wearing my bonnet, she went off on me. She called me racist and said that I was culturally appropriating headwear. I tried to explain to her that wearing a bonnet isn't a racial thing, it's a hair texture thing. Apparently this was somehow me invalidating her beliefs or some crap, and she got very emotional. To prove my point, I called my best friend, I put her on speaker, and I asked if she felt like wearing a bonnet was racist. She was laughing her ass off at the question. My dad's girlfriend stormed out of my apartment and went to cool off. When she got back, she apologized for storming off and told me that I owed her an apology. I asked her for what? She said that I hurt her feelings. I refused. I told her to get her crap and get out of my apartment. My dad said that he was disappointed in my behavior, and I told him to get out too. Ultimately, they cut their visit short. Now, I've literally been getting texts non-stop from my dad, all telling me to apologize to her and saying that I've broken her heart. I'm probably an a-hole for this part, but I told him not to worry. I'll just apologize to his next girlfriend that's got a white savior complex. I told this all to my mum, and as such, she hates my dad. She said that it was a little bit uncalled for me to just kick him out and his girlfriend out of my apartment. I don't know though. I don't really feel bad at all. Am I the a-hole? No, definitely not. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. You don't owe her jack. She's in your space giving her opinion. Tell your dad that she's not welcome in your home. Broken her heart? What the hell is that supposed to mean? She gets to come into your home and criticize you, and you're just supposed to deal with it? And OP said, I had literally just met her the night before. My dad is trying to say that I owe it to him to apologize. But last time I checked, I pay my own bills with my own money, so I owe him nothing. The fact that he's putting her broken heart over the fact that she so casually called me a racist is really eye-opening right now. Yeah, that's so bad. On the girlfriend's part, but also your dad. They want you to apologize to them. OP, they need to apologize to you. Comes into your place and treats you like this, and then gets upset and says you need to apologize because you broke their heart, and just screaming cultural appropriation at any chance they get. You didn't do anything. Yeah, that's so infuriating, OP. You're not the a-hole even a little bit. The next one says, am I the a-hole for using fart spray to get my uncle to stop with his cruel prank? My Uncle John has a super fun way to make kids cry. He'll get the oil from lemon rinds and touch balloons. Sometimes they pop immediately. Sometimes they take a few seconds. Okay, so you mean like lemon juice? At every party that I've ever attended, ones where there were balloons and children, he left a trail of torn latex and crying children. My parents think that it's all in good fun. I think he's a prick. My sister had her quinceañera last week. My contribution was a balloon arch. My sister was turning 15 and didn't really care about balloons, but we got some very nice pictures with the arch. Then I set it up outside on some AstroTurf. A few other people used it for pictures as well, and then my uncle showed up. I went up to him and told him that I'd paid for the arch for my baby sister's party and that I wanted him to leave it alone. He said he would. He did not. I didn't want any accidents inside, so I didn't add the 3 balloons that had fart spray to the arch until I moved it outside. And the balloons were double baggers. I'd blown up one inside another before I inflated the outer one, but you could see the inside balloon. It was too much of a temptation. He resisted for 10 minutes or so, and then somebody came and told me. I went out. He was about to pick up the inner balloon, and I told him not to touch it and to stop blowing up the decorations. He didn't listen. He said he wasn't doing anything except touching the balloons, and that it wasn't his fault that they were popping. So be it. He picked up the inner balloon. It wasn't as inflated as the outer one, so the surface tension was less. Therefore, it took almost 2 seconds for the balloon he was holding so proudly to pop. Gagging, dry heaving, watery eyes, a profound desire to be elsewhere. I went through all of that. I can't imagine what it would have been like to be drenched in the liquid form of fart spray. Drenched is an overstatement. There was maximum half a fluid ounce of fart liquid in the balloon, but he was covered in it, and the pop did aerosolize it somewhat, so it got all over. He ended up having to go home and change. It was only like half an hour that he was gone, maybe an hour. I wasn't paying attention. He did come back though, freshly showered, and he's pissed that I play such a childish prank at such an important event for my family. I said I had no idea what he was talking about. I reminded him that he'd promised to leave the balloons alone, and that I had warned him not to touch the balloon that got him. My family are divided. They think I was a jerk to play a joke at my sister's party, but they're almost universally sick of him popping balloons. My grandfather laughed his ass off. Yeah, this comment, not the a-hole. He had it coming. 1,000,000%. I don't feel like you're the a-hole here, OP. This comment says not the a-hole as long as you didn't disturb the party. And OP said nope, nobody noticed until after. Yeah, well there you go. So you're definitely not the a-hole. You didn't affect your sister's party at all. That's the only way you would have been the a-hole here. If you like somehow ruined your sister's party. But nobody even noticed until after. Yeah, he definitely had it coming. The next one says, am I the a-hole for not responding when somebody doesn't use my actual name? My 16 male name is Nico, and it's not short for anything. On my birth certificate, it says Nico, middle name, last name. This is something a few people can't understand, and some people call me Nicholas. Even teachers who see me on the class list as Nico and not Nicholas. I'm a foster kid. I've been in the system since I was 2. My mum is the only biological family I know, but she's not able to take care of me. I see her twice a year through court-ordered visits, but nobody in her family, and I don't have anything to do with my paternal side. I've been with my current foster family for 3 years, and I'm really happy with my foster parents and foster siblings. My foster parents actually want to help the kids that they foster, and their kids are cool with their parents fostering and don't bully me or others for stealing their family. So I hope I get to stay until I age out of the system. My only problem is that some of their extended family are snobs, and they don't like calling me Nico. So they call me Nicholas even after being corrected a million times. My foster parents have explained that my name is actually Nico, not Nicholas. But the reply is always, but Nico is short for Nicholas. A couple of the extended family have encouraged me to change my name because Nicholas sounds more professional. Wow, the audacity. It's like my name. My name is Vince. It's not Vincent. Even though it's short for Vincent, it's still not my name. And Nicholas is not this person's name. That's so weird to be like, oh yeah, but I'm gonna call you this anyway. A couple of the extended family have encouraged me to change my name because Nicholas sounds more professional for an adult male, which I will be soon. I was like, no thank you. Yeah, there's nothing unprofessional about Nico. My foster parents told me that I should ignore whenever somebody calls me Nicholas now, unless they're new and they just assume, but I can ignore their family members who do it, so that's what I did. I've ignored them a handful of times now and it bothers them so much. Yesterday it happened twice because one kept trying to call Nicholas over and I just didn't go. The other asked Nicholas to pass the potatoes at dinner and I kept on eating and I didn't pass anything. I was then called out for ignoring them and my foster parents said that nobody knew who they were talking to because there was no Nicholas at the table. One of my foster sisters said that she assumed it was her Nicole and they got confused and that's why she passed it instead. I was told that I should be more open to the wisdom others offer with name suggestions and stop being rude by ignoring people. You're not the rude person here, OP. Even though my foster parents backed me up again, it made me feel away because this really is my best foster experience and I don't want to piss off people in my foster family. So am I the a-hole? No, you're so not the a-hole, OP. And also Nico is a nice name. You don't have to change it to Nicholas. The top comment says not the a-hole. Your foster parents sound great and they clearly have your interests at heart. Even the other kids, at least one anyway, are standing up for you. Your name is Nico, not Nicholas. It's extremely rude and disrespectful to deliberately call you by a name that isn't yours, especially with repeated corrections. It's even more rude and disrespectful to practically demand that you change your name from something that you like to something that you don't like and don't want. There's also nothing wrong with Nico as a name. Sure, it's not common, but it's not really weird either. Your name is your name and nobody else gets to demand it to be something different or call you by a name that isn't yours. Keep listening to your foster parents. It's them and their kids you want a good relationship with, not so much the extended family. If you back down now, the extended family are never going to respect you and they're going to continue to demand that you change stuff that you don't like against your will. Continue ignoring anybody who calls you by the wrong name, unless it's an honest mistake. Continue listening to your foster parents and letting them stand up for you. That's part of their job as foster parents, and they're proving that they're great at it. Yeah, the foster parents sound awesome. And yeah, like that comment said, definitely don't give in to the extended family, because the second that you do that, OP, they'll feel like they can do this to you about all sorts of stuff. They are so the a-hole here. And yeah, that's enough for today. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today. I've got a cute wholesome meme to show you before you go. My new homemade Zen garden. Isn't that so cute? That's such a beautiful kitty cat, and the color of it too is so beautiful. Like that really light gray sort of color. Such a beautiful fluffy angel. And yeah, the perfect Zen garden. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time today. If you did, make sure you subscribe if you want to, and also let me know down below what you thought. And the comment of the day goes to Sarah6555. I have a blue and white budgie watching with me. Her name is Piplup. Oh, that's so cute. And that's such a good name for a budgie. Say hello to Piplup for me. That is so adorable. Yeah, that's such a good name for a bird. Oh, that's so cute. And thank you for watching the episodes. And also thank you, Piplup, for watching the episodes. And thank you for the comment. And thank you all for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!